You woke up early, you got decent sleep, maybe you even drank some water, did your morning routine. But by 10:30 a.m., your brain is foggy. You're yawning at your desk. Your focus is fractured. It's like your body is awake, but your mind is underwater. Sound familiar? What if the problem isn't sleep? What if it's what you're eating? Because here's the truth. Some of the most common foods in your daily routine are secretly destroying your alertness. Not just draining your energy, but actively impairing your brain's ability to stay sharp, engaged, and present. Let's start with the most deceptive offender: white bread and refined carbs. Bagels, muffins, cereal toast. They're morning staples, but they're also blood sugar time bombs. When you eat refined carbohydrates without fiber or protein, your blood sugar spikes rapidly. You feel a short burst of energy and then comes the crash. This crash triggers the release of insulin, which clears glucose from the bloodstream, but often overcorrects. The result? A dip in blood sugar that signals to the brain, it's time to rest. Your body doesn't interpret that crash as "we had a bad breakfast." It interprets it as fatigue. It slows down to conserve energy. That's why you feel groggy, slow, and mentally checked out after eating that innocent-looking cinnamon raisin bagel. Now let's talk about something even sneakier: fruit juices. You might think a glass of orange juice or apple juice gives you a healthy vitamin boost, but in reality, fruit juice is often as glycemically aggressive as soda. Why? Because it strips away the fiber and floods your system with fast-absorbing sugar. No fiber means no buffer. The result? Rapid blood sugar elevation, fast insulin dump, sleepy, foggy brain. If you want to stay alert, fruit juice is one of the worst things you can drink. Eat the whole fruit instead, where the fiber, pectin, and natural water content keep absorption steady. Another major offender? Fried foods and heavy saturated fats. Greasy breakfasts like sausage, bacon, hash browns. They weigh you down physically, but they also slow your digestion dramatically. When your body is working hard to digest a high-fat meal, it redirects blood flow from your brain to your gut. The result? Mental sluggishness, post-meal brain fog, a slow, sleepy sensation that feels like gravity got heavier. These meals also increase inflammatory markers in the bloodstream, which can affect the brain's performance, especially in areas tied to executive function and attention. It doesn't end there. Let's talk about dairy, especially cheese and creamy yogurts. For some people, dairy is perfectly tolerable. But for many, especially those with low-grade sensitivities, dairy creates digestive stress and mucosal inflammation. Your body diverts energy to deal with the internal irritation. You may not get a stomachache, but you'll notice it in your mood, focus, and alertness. If you consistently feel sleepy after meals containing cheese, creamy sauces, or yogurt parfaits, dairy could be a silent energy thief. And finally, the one most people never suspect: health snack bars. Granola bars, protein bars, natural snack bites. Many of these are loaded with hidden sugars, sugar alcohols, or cheap carbs. Even if they say 10 g of protein, they often deliver it alongside a surge of sweeteners that create the same blood sugar crash we mentioned earlier. Your brain thrives on stable energy, not roller coasters. So, what do all these foods have in common? They either spike your insulin too fast, rob blood flow from your brain, or create inflammation that slows neurotransmitter firing. If you're eating these regularly, especially in the morning or early afternoon, you're unintentionally numbing your alertness. But the good news is, once you remove these, something remarkable starts to happen. Your energy stabilizes, your mind sharpens, your mood levels out, and for the first time in a long time you feel present, not just awake, but clear. So, what should you eat instead when you want to stay alert? Let's flip the list. Start with protein-first meals. Protein provides amino acids that are precursors for key neurotransmitters like dopamine, norepinephrine, and acetylcholine, all of which are involved in focus, motivation, and mental clarity. Think of eggs with sautéed greens, a protein shake with no added sugar, a bowl of lentils with avocado. These foods stabilize blood sugar and support the kind of mental alertness you crave without the crash. Next, prioritize healthy fats that feed your brain without weighing down your gut. Avocados, nuts, seeds, olive oil, and wild-caught fish contain omega-3s and monounsaturated fats that support cognitive performance and reduce inflammation. Omega-3s in particular, like DHA and EPA, are literally structural components of the brain. People with higher omega-3 levels tend to have better working memory, quicker reaction time, and lower risk of cognitive decline. You also want complex carbs with fiber, not because you need to avoid carbs, but because your brain uses glucose as fuel. The goal is slow-releasing carbs that keep your energy steady. Sweet potatoes, quinoa, steel-cut oats, chickpeas. These all feed your brain without flooding your system. And what about drinks? Instead of juice or sweetened coffee creamers, try green tea. It contains L-theanine, a compound that promotes calm, focused energy by smoothing out the stimulating effects of caffeine. Or try black coffee with a small amount of MCT oil or unsweetened almond milk. Just avoid sweeteners, even the natural ones. Artificial sweeteners can confuse your brain's satiety and reward systems, leading to crashes in focus. Even better, water. Mild dehydration, even 1%, can impair attention, mood, and short-term memory. So often we mistake fatigue or mental fog for hunger or sleepiness, when really the brain is just dehydrated. So here's your simple alertness stack. Protein first, healthy fats second, fiber-rich carbs third, green tea or black coffee, and hydrate. Now let's go deeper. What happens in your brain when you eat something that destroys your alertness? First, blood sugar spikes. The pancreas floods your system with insulin. The spike feels good for a moment, like a high. Your brain is briefly bathed in glucose, and you feel switched on. But then, insulin overshoots. Blood sugar drops. The brain, suddenly deprived of fuel, starts releasing adenosine, the same molecule that builds up when you're sleepy. Adenosine is what caffeine blocks. But if you're constantly fueling adenosine production through food crashes, no amount of caffeine will save you. You'll still feel sleepy. You'll still lose focus. Meanwhile, the hypothalamus, the command center for hormones, senses this instability and triggers the adrenal glands. Cortisol goes up. Your body thinks you're under threat. It doesn't realize it's reacting to a bowl of cereal and juice. Over time, this cycle burns you out. It leaves you feeling wired but tired. Your sleep quality declines. Your focus fragments. And your dependence on sugar, caffeine, and snacks goes up. And this is where it becomes dangerous. Because brain fog becomes the new normal, and you stop trusting your body's signals. You think, maybe I'm just tired today. But it's not just today. It's a pattern built from the foods you're eating. From the healthy breakfast bar, from the sweetened smoothie, from the heavy brunch that leaves you yawning by noon. But the moment you change the input, the moment you stop putting drowsiness on your plate, everything shifts. You get your edge back. Not with more caffeine, not with nootropics or hacks, but with biology and balance. When you eat for alertness, instead of emotion, convenience, or habit, your brain shows up for you. Sharper, faster, clearer, calmer. And isn't that what we all want? So let's get practical. Here are 5 foods you should avoid when you want to stay mentally sharp, especially during work hours, study sessions, or high-focus tasks. 1. White bread, bagels, and breakfast muffins. They might feel comforting, but these refined carbs spike blood sugar rapidly, leading to energy crashes and foggy thinking. If it turns to mush in your mouth in seconds, your brain probably doesn't want it. 2. Fruit juices and healthy smoothies. Yes, even the green ones. If they're made with mostly fruit, no fiber, and added sweeteners, they're glucose bombs. Your brain will light up, then shut down. Always prioritize blended whole fruits or lower sugar fiber-rich options. 3. Fried or greasy foods, especially in the morning. Heavy fats slow down digestion and pull blood away from your brain. Think sausage, fast food, breakfast sandwiches, hash browns. The post-meal slump you feel isn't in your stomach, it's in your neurotransmitters. 4. Creamy, dairy-based meals. Cream sauces, cheesy sandwiches, thick yogurts. These can cause low-grade inflammation or digestive drag in sensitive people, especially when mixed with carbs. The result? Energy dips and scattered focus. 5. Energy bars, loaded with sugar alcohols or hidden sweeteners. They may say low-carb or protein-packed, but many bars are actually candy in disguise. Watch for erythritol, maltitol, corn syrup, or agave. These can spike and crash your blood sugar just as quickly as candy bars. So, what should your alertness-supporting meal actually look like? Breakfast. 2 eggs sautéed with spinach and olive oil. Half avocado. A small serving of steel-cut oats with cinnamon, no sugar. Green tea or black coffee. Tall glass of water with lemon. Lunch. Grilled chicken or lentils with roasted vegetables. A handful of almonds or pumpkin seeds. Optional, quinoa or chickpea. Herbal tea or sparkling water. Snack if needed. Boiled egg with salt. Celery sticks with almond butter. Small handful of walnuts plus dark chocolate, 85%. It's not about being perfect. It's about understanding the impact your food has on your mental performance. Because when you want to stay alert, when you need your brain to fire at full capacity, every bite either helps or hinders. There's no neutral. You can't outthink a blood sugar crash. You can't caffeinate your way out of dairy-induced brain fog. You can't rely on motivation if your body is sedated by its own food choices. But you can choose differently. You can eat for focus, not just fullness. You can fuel mental clarity, not mental crashes. And when you do, you don't just feel better. You become someone who's in control of their energy, their mind, and their day. Because alertness isn't just about rest. It's about what you put in your body while you're awake.